if that was the end of the story, if that was the last chapter, what we just watched and saw, then at the very least it would be a very tragic and sad story, right? And for those of us who have put all our hope in the rest of the story and in what we just saw, it would be completely devastating to think that was the end. Because up to that point in history of all of creation, death had the last word. Death had the victory. But, little spoiler alert here, the story is not over yet. In fact, it is only the beginning of the story, because what actually is happening in that scene and what is happening beyond that scene in the tomb as Jesus goes to the cross and into the grave, what we know is that Jesus is taking death by the neck, and he's staring it in the face, and he's saying with the roar of a lion, "It is finished. Death, you are finished. Death, where is your victory? Death, where is your sting?" Death is swallowed up in victory. Amen? And that is why the story is just beginning. And that's a truth that has been important to me my whole life, but became like oxygen to keep my heart, my soul alive 7 years ago, as my family and I stood at the graveside of our little girl Maria, and we read those words from 1 Corinthians, that death is swallowed up in victory, and we remembered there together, and we've remembered it every year on the anniversary of Maria going to be with Jesus. We read the words again about how the seed is planted in the ground that's perishable, but because of the resurrection of Jesus, what comes back from that, what is raised up, is imperishable, is eternal. And we have to remember that. We have to have nights like this where we can see it and hear it again, because if you're like me, you have spiritual amnesia, you forget this truth, and then you start living afraid again, afraid of death. And so we need to be reminded. I needed it so much that as we remembered it that day at Maria's graveside, I wrote this song so I would be able to keep remembering that even though that seed has been planted and the seed that falls to the ground is perishable, that spring is coming. Amen. Planted the seed while the tears of our grief sowed the ground. The sky lost its sun, the world lost its green to lifeless brown. Now the chill in the wind has turned the earth as hard as stone. Silent the seed lies beneath ice and snow, and my heart's heading down, but I'm not letting go of this hope I have that tells me spring is coming. Spring is coming, and all we've been hoping and longing for soon will Feel the life in the breeze. Feel the sun on your skin. The kids are coming out to play. Watch the ice melt away. The sun is growing strong again. And watch the ground. Oh, there's something moving. Something is breaking through. New life is breaking through. Spring is coming. Spring is coming. All we've been hoping and longing for soon will appear. Spring is coming. Spring is coming. It won't be long now. It's just about here. Spring is coming. Spring is coming. All we've been hoping and longing for soon will appear. Spring is coming. Spring is coming. It won't be long now. It's just